EdSource recently reported on a group of small school districts that have sued the state over the state's formula for distributing facilities funds. In a recent survey, 14 California districts reported an absence of fully operable potable water systems. What is your plan for ensuring an equitable distribution of state funding for rural and small school facilities?
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I think we need to parrot one of the phrases that one of the other candidates used. And one size fits all is not appropriate for all districts. We know that. We know every district has very different challenges. We have made adjustments in the past, LCFF, for example, in 2014 or so, to tweak our education funding formulas. I think small districts, rural districts, need to have, again, specific set asides to make sure that they're dealing with the populations that they serve. There are small districts. I'm thinking of districts I visited in the Coachella Valley, where transportation is such a tremendous issue and such an incredibly big part of getting kids to schools. So again, I think there needs to be personalized, tailored systems for each district that are specific to districts. Also, in a more general sense, I think it's incumbent upon the next superintendent to make sure that there are better revenue streams for education in general. Prop 98 was never supposed to be the baseline funding for our schools. It was supposed to be the baseline funding for our schools. It was never supposed to be the ceiling. We need to make sure that our schools, small, large, all of our schools are fully funded.
As the lead author for Proposition 2, what was originally Assembly Bill 247, first of all, I want to thank the Small School Districts Association for being a strong supporter of AB 247. And that was because, we specifically recognized, again, that small districts have unique challenges, whether it's the bonding capacity with the low property tax base in many rural communities, whether it's the staffing shortage where you don't have like full-time school facility staff to be able to, plan for, design, and administer these school facility construction operations. So we specifically set aside, up to 10% of the new construction funds, up to 10% of the modernization funds for small and rural school districts, 2,500 and below in enrollment. We provided funding for the technical expertise to be able to plan for the schools, and we specifically provided additional funding to address water issues, especially lead, districts that could demonstrate lead in these school water supplies. And so I think there's a lot in Proposition 2 funds. I can't comment on ongoing litigation, but this was part of the conversations that were taking place when we were debating what eventually became Proposition 2. The fact is that they're saying that all the wealthy districts get all the money, but who are they talking about? They're talking about the large urban districts like Los Angeles Unified that serves 85% of their student population is low income. So I think it's a little misleading to say that it's all the money is going to wealthy districts. But again, look forward to working with the Small School Districts Association.
I think it's important to touch on one of the sort of the points in this question. Fully 14 California districts are without potable water, which is just a stunning commentary on the inequities across the state, and that is sort of stunning. It's something that I worked on for in a bunch of different ways across the state, and we did water policy. It's important also to note that small and rural districts typically have older facilities than other parts of the state, and so we need to make sure that we don't, in sort of governing by formula, as Anthony so correctly pointed out, that we don't shortchange investments where they're so desperately needed. Every student deserves the same level of safety and comfort in their educational facilities. So there should be something like a rural facilities guarantee, either within LCFF or the next iteration of Prop 98, that takes into account One, these investments are needed and well behind. Two, I served with Al as a member of the School Allocations Board and proud to be a co-author of Prop 2. But that $8.5 billion for K through 12 will not go very far. There's already a backlog. And so we need to be thinking very deliberately about what are the next steps by way of investments for these for infrastructure and for safety in every school. And that is, I think, necessarily going to entail a real rethinking of the local control funding formula. It's been in place since 2013. It has done some good, but the world changes quickly and needs change as well. And so one thing that we should be doing as a state, and what the SSBI has to be doing very aggressively with both the legislature and the next governor, is forcing those discussions so that we have them sooner rather than later.
So first of all, in order to address this inequitable distribution of state facilities funds and deal with our infrastructure needs, we must center the fact that safe, modern schools are healthy schools, and those healthy schools become the center of our communities. It is unacceptable in the year 2025 in California that students don't have safe drinking water or technologically efficient classrooms. We need to reform facilities funding formula so that small and rural districts, which often lack the matching funds, are able to address these infrastructure needs. As superintendent, I will advocate for dedicated rural set-asides under Proposition 51 successor and push for permanent funding streams for water infrastructure modernization. Potable water is very important to healthy living and functioning, not just in our schools, but in our communities. And as superintendent, I will advocate to make sure that the state provides technical assistance to help small districts apply for managed facilities grants rather than penalize small and rural districts for lacking large administrative teams to handle this work. Thank you.